Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to this edition of Coffee with Tyler. I'm just going to go ahead and shut this door. All right. Does everybody have their cup of coffee?
Uh-huh.
I also wanted to make sure that I'm showing off our Bucks attire
Who is
today.
22?
Chris Middleton.
Oh, he's hot.
Yeah.
He is
So
those 3-pointers.
I know.
Ooh,
So
downtown.
exactly. So, good morning, everybody. Again, welcome to this edition of Coffee with Tyler. What I wanted to start the program off before I take in all of your questions is I want to let you know that we are a Bucks community, right? We're in the heart of Milwaukee, and we may have a friendly wager with a fellow LCS community in Tempe, Arizona.
Oh, fun.
So, and there's a couple video clips, and Spectrum will be on site, I believe, on Tuesday to do a story as well. But you'll see a number of staff members in Bucks attire throughout these playoffs. So starting today, obviously we have a game at 8 o'clock tonight, we have a game on Sunday, we have a game on Tuesday. The bet is, if and when the Bucks win, Friendship Village will send us a few 12 packs or cases of their craft beer. It is Four Peaks Kilt Lifter. It's a wonderful beer, and we'll share that with all of you as residents in appreciation for the Bucks winning.
Good.
Also, the executive director has to wear a Bucks jersey congratulating the Bucks for winning. Finally, they will give a charitable donation to the Boys and Girls Club of Milwaukee
Oh, wonderful.
on our behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Of course, if for some unforeseen reason the Bucks were to lose, we have agreed to send them some of our finest craft beer, Spotted Cow,
Oh.
as well as I will have to wear a Phoenix Suns jersey,
Oh, no.
congratulating the Phoenix Suns.
Okay. Good
And
stuff.
also, East Castle Place will send a charitable contribution to the Boys and Girls Club of Phoenix.
Okay, great.
So it's a friendly,
Yes.
friendly wager between our two communities, and of course, their residents are having watch parties. I know we had some watch parties on Tuesday. I know Laura's setting up a watch party for tonight as well as Sunday.
Oh, is she?
Yep. So again, look for that.
Where will it be?
Probably in Lindsay Hall. So we'll just have some chairs set up, hopefully some craft beers and snacks and things of that nature where we can cheer on the Bucks. So we need all of the positive energy. I know the Deer District is less than 3 miles away.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody's heading down there today with the other 20,000 individuals.
No.
We are not taking a bus down there, by the way.
Yeah.
So it is quite rowdy. But again, we'll create our own Deer District here at East Castle
Sure.
Place.
Great.
So that's why you'll see myself as well as a number of staff members supporting the Bucks, and I encourage you all to do the same. All right?
That's good.
All right. So, what and what's on everybody's mind?
You want me to go? Oh,
Sure.
Okay, well, I have a sort of a tale to tell. Last March, we had, I'm talking about a structural thing in an apartment. Is that too small a topic for this group?
Is it specific to your apartment?
Yeah.
Can you and I chat after?
Can I what?
Can you and I chat after?
Yes?
Okay. Then we'll talk specifically about your apartment because I'm guessing it's got something to do with a paint and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
there's a larger problem with it, is that it took me 5 weeks then to get a call back from maintenance.
Okay. So let's take that as more of a general topic, if you don't mind, is the maintenance responsiveness, as well as what our maintenance team, how work orders go in, and the anticipated and understanding for the community and how we respond. So the question was raised by Ms. Johnstone about a work order that was submitted and that it took longer than what would be anticipated for a response on the solution. Is that accurate?
Yeah,
Okay. So just as a reminder for everybody, if you have a work order to be put into East Castle for a maintenance member to fix, we ask that you go through the front desk and put that into the Works Hub system. Then the Works Hub system, there's an email response, and Eric's going to get with the front desk to show that your request was put into Works Hub. This also is a nice foreshadowing because we need your email addresses, and I'll address that in a bit. The work order then is submitted, and Eric and the team all receive that, and then it's assigned to a worker. It's also assigned a priority. I'll share with you if it's a light bulb or something of that nature, it's going to go below a heating and cooling thing or something of that nature, a sewage backup, something more catastrophic. I think everybody can understand that, right?
yeah.
But if you are waiting over, I will call it 3 business days, and you don't have a response for that work order, I would ask you to go back to the front desk and resubmit. Again, I'll work with Eric to formulate a better plan. I know Eric's plan and Eric's want is always to respond within 24 hours or next business day. I know that that's not feasible for the number of work orders we have put in every day by, the residents, as well as not to mention the assisted living health center. We are fully staffed in maintenance, but even with that, I can share with you there's a number of things that they're doing on a day in and day out basis. Nonetheless, 5 weeks, as you mentioned, is much too long, and if Eric were here, he would agree. At the same time, I want to make sure that we're not going directly to Eric when a work order isn't being taken care of, because again, that then delays him and how our process goes. So we need to make sure we're submitting that to the front desk. Eric will sit with the front desk to make sure that your work order has been received, and then also assign a time frame and a tech so that we don't have these delays. Now, I'm not going to make a promise that this anomaly won't happen again, but it should be the anomaly and not the norm. Again, we want 3 business days. Again, that's something that we need to work towards. We're not there. But again, Eric, myself, and the team are want to share with you that we are here for you. But we also know that there's usually about 82 different apartments that always have a number of needs, and it's always, a priority generally. So, but again, the main focus is obviously anything emergent, heating and cooling, which we did have that heating issue in the historic building and the contemporary building on Tuesday, and we were aware of it as of 5 a.m. Again, I know I had some residents say that it was started around 6 o'clock on Monday, but we had our total mechanical techs in by about 10 a.m. and the building was starting to cool by noon. Large building, it was over 90 degrees, it took some time to cool off. But if you are having heating and cooling issues, do know that those are priorities. Right now, obviously it's cooling. But we'll continue to work as expedition as fast as possible. Thank you, Ms. Festoff. So, does that help? But let's chat after, okay?
Yeah.
All right. What else? What other questions? What other things do we have upcoming?
You tell us.
Well, first, obviously, I shared with you is the excitement around the Bucks. We're all very excited. We have our new executive chef that began on Tuesday in orientation, Chef Tim. And Chef Tim will be meeting with the Food and Beverage Committee. He's obviously getting his feet wet. He has not completed any dinners at this point in 2 days. And we ask for your understanding and patience as we bring Chef Tim on board. We're very excited. He met with residents and did a tasting for residents prior to being brought on. Chef Tim has over 20 years of experience as an executive chef in the culinary capacity. He has his culinary degree actually from MATC, which is a very strong program. And we look forward to what Chef Tim is going to do, as well as provide support to Carlos. Now, of course, you all also know our food and beverage team, we've been a little strapped for the servers. I was in the dining room last night, and we had a really strong number of servers and some really strong servers. And I think, again, the comment cards, because I'm reviewing those and Maureen's actually inputting them to help out Carlos right now, we're seeing a lot of positive results from the service that is being provided. At the same time, you're seeing some different faces in there, maybe some different uniforms in there as we band together to provide the support for you. All I ask is for your continued understanding and patience. The team is working very hard for you, and I know that your cup of coffee that may not have been filled for 5 or 10 minutes, it's not because the servers don't want to do that. It's because they're working through a number of different things. So again, I just ask for your patience and understanding. Again, I'm seeing the comment cards. I know the vast majority of you are understanding. I'm not saying you aren't. But again, there have been some comments that have been brought to me by employees from other residents that have, again, kind of hurt them because they are trying to do their best. And so again, I just ask for you and your neighbors. Again, if a server is not respecting you, that's something that we do not hold for. At the same time, I would ask for a level of respect from the resident population. And again, do know that we are actively and have been actively recruiting since January, before the dining rooms open. If you've been to a restaurant or walked past Downer or been around Milwaukee, the hospitality industry is hurting right now. That's impacting us as well. The difference is, if I go to a restaurant, it's a 2-hour wait, I leave and go maybe somewhere else or go home. This is a service that we provide for you, and we need to provide that for you, and you don't have that option. However, I know that you've all been understanding about the reservation system that helped kind of that flow, and I appreciate that, but we will provide a meal or, provide that to you every single night. And our goal is to not shut down the dining room because of a lack of servers. Same time, I just came from a meeting talking about turnover and what that looks like, and what we can do to combat that. I just still have a hard time understanding how some individuals just don't call, don't show up on consecutive days, consecutive shifts. We can't continue to have those employees. We have an attendance policy. I will tell you it's a very loose attendance policy from my regard. And that's not necessarily why we're terming. But again, that is why individuals are not coming. So, and again, it's not just at East Castle Place. I can tell you the Catholic Home is struggling. St. John's is struggling. Everyone is hurting right now from an industry standpoint from labor. But I can assure you we are competitive, if not the most competitive from a wage basis. We've done a lot. The board of directors has invested a lot into our employees. So know that Mia and Jen, our human resources department, is working day in, day out, night in, night out, morning in, morning out, whatever it takes to bring in the best caliber of individuals. At the same time, I'm not just going to hire somebody to have a warm body. That's not who we are as East Castle Place, and that's not who the director team, that's not the level of service that we want to provide and establish here at East Castle Place. So a director would rather run short and figure out how to still meet the service as opposed to just a body that's going to create other issues down the road. So we do have standards. I think you as residents should expect us to have standards. It's just unfortunate that the labor pool right now is as tight as it is. But again, we'll continue to work through that and problem solve. So, yes.
I would love if you could say that to a larger group, to give respect to the staff.
Yes.
So, just for you that are viewing, the question from Carolyn was, I would love for you to say that in a larger scale to give respect to our employees. And so I'll share that with everybody. And again, I'm happy to, have those conversations. If you have frustrations, please do give those to Mary or Sam, for instance. They are the leadership. At the end of the day, my door is always open as well, and you can provide those frustrations to me. Again, that's why I'm not here to take on your frustrations. We're here to serve you. But if those frustrations happen, I ask that you bring those to me so that I can help problem solve for you. Giving those frustrations and taking it out on an individual that's trying to provide a service for you all, unfortunately, does not help us.
No.
It does not help us retain staff. It does not help us invite staff in through these doors. You all are paying.
You could reach everybody.
Well, again, we'll do it at State of the Castle. I think word of mouth in these types of settings. And don't get me wrong, I understand you pay a very healthy amount to East Castle Place for a service and a level of service. I'm not asking you to give us a pass. I'm not asking that. What I am asking is just to be respectful in that. And every time I talk to each and every one of you, and that goes for any of you viewing, you are very respectful. And I understand that. And again, that's where I think we all can have frustrations. I get it. We're all human. But again, working through your different outlets to get that frustration out, I guess, is what I'm asking.
We, not long ago, my husband and I ate with somebody, we were put with somebody in the dining room, and he was incredibly rude to the staff, and I called him out.
Thank
I
you.
chewed him out at the table.
Good for you.
And he probably, doesn't like me very much, but,
It's okay.
Yeah. That's something that the rest of us can do.
Yeah.
Because
They're doing their best.
they're doing their best under bad circumstances, not bad circumstances, but.
I think it was last Friday night, we had someone from Human Resources, Mia.
Yep.
Oh, she did such a good job.
Yeah.
I said, "You've done this before?" She said, "I have." She was so experienced and gave us such good service.
Yeah. So just so those of you that are viewing, a couple comments where Ms. Johnstone said that she had an experience with a fellow neighbor that she saw maybe not as respectful as possible, and scolded or talked to the resident about respect right there and then. And that's kind of that peer-to-peer is kind of what I think Ms. Johnstone is saying. And then Carolyn was just mentioning that I mentioned we have a number of different team members, different faces in the dining room, and she mentioned Mia, who is our HR assistant right now, and how fantastic that experience was. And Mia does have prior server experience, and she is helping out in the dining room right now to help Carlos, help the team. And again, we have a number of those individuals that may be here that have served in their prior lives. So again, you may see me pop it. And
You have.
and that's something that
Right.
yeah. And so again, I'm a certified coffee pourer. I've given myself that title. I can also do water. Outside of that, it gets a little dicey. So, but fortunately, we got Kathleen and Connie and Susan and so many great cooks. Again, Chef Tim being brought on, and of course Carlos has been on the line on a number of evenings and a number of weekends, he's doing a fantastic job. So.
Well, I have yet to see any young person serving in the dining room who does anything but just stoically take it from somebody who's being disrespectful.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And they, by and large, are good-natured and.
Yep.
I have a lot of respect for that.
Thank you. What else? Oh, I know. I don't have exact dates, but we are redoing the gazebo area out in that exterior gazebo courtyard. If you've noticed, there's probably that tree. It's kind of dead, and it's very overgrown by the gazebo. We hired KEI to come in and redo and refacilitate that whole area to beautify the gazebo courtyard. So work may start next week in the gazebo area. So I guess I just ask, obviously any equipment. I do know I was made aware of still some ladders that are still out in the exterior courtyard. Those will become property of East Castle Place if they're not removed by Friday, because obviously the contractors don't want them. So that'll be the direction, but we'll give them until Friday if they can get the vines off of them, from what I'm hearing. But again, so you'll see some work there. The other piece is the rooftop garden is going to get a makeover as well. The Community Enrichment Fund with Mike Brever and a number of your neighbors. That fund, there's been donations to renovate that space, and so KEI will be working on that. We'll have postings up and things of that nature to try and alert you, but wanted to let you know that. Also, in regards to something that's upcoming, what was I gonna say? I need to say that for State of the Castle. I need further details in my mind. Sorry. What else? What else does everybody want to know?
Let's see, the marketing room is gonna be switched.
Oh, thank
right?
you. So the question was the marketing room. I have not fully disclosed this as of yet. This will be at the State of the Castle as well.
Okay.
But I did talk with resident council last month, and the resident council approved the move. And so the meditation room right now that is off that front lobby, everybody knows where that meditation room is. How many of you meditate there, by the way? Quick show of hands. All right, there's no meditating in the meditation room. However, and one reason is that I've heard, and one of the reasons is it's not very calm or quiet. It's very active. So what we're doing is we're going to move that meditation room up to the second floor, across from the salon and market area. It used to be an office. We're gonna take out that office furniture from that second floor, and we're gonna probably put together a small committee of residents that do meditation over on the first floor of Water Tower, and kind of ask what they're looking for. The meditation room on the first floor that currently is will turn into a marketing office. It's what we call a discovery room. We're gonna renovate that space, and marketing will use that for the upcoming expansion and renovation, as well as their current marketing. The discovery room that we currently have for marketing, it's sometimes used for other things. I'm working with marketing that will still be a primarily marketing space, but if you need a small, quick meeting or something private that often I do with resident family members, we'll use that space instead. That space will not be able to be reserved by residents. However, I encourage the use of the club room and other areas in the community for bridge and things of that nature.
Could we play bridge in there or not?
Possibly. I'd rather play bridge in the club room or the bistro. We're going to put in a couple more tables in the bistro.
Okay.
Because again, I want to reserve that because if Heidi and Anna both have appointments, I want to make sure they have the appropriate space. Okay. So again, that will be forthcoming. We're getting the final selections, and so that will be probably September, October, that those rooms will be started and taken offline. So more to follow, and again, formal communication will come. You will receive a memo at the end of the day today, Thursday, asking a couple of things. One, we are trying to get everybody's email address. And so that you as residents have access to a neighbor's email, as well as East Castle Place can email out different things and different messages, as well as go more green, waste less paper. And so again, Maureen will put that memo out. Even if you've given us your email address once, we'd like it again. There's a space on the bottom, turn that into the front desk, Maureen will compile that. There's a date.
What percentage of our residents do not have email?
That we have on file, about 50%. So I think we're better than that. And I think we don't have that information. And so that's why even if you know East Castle has your email address, I still ask you refill it out because it may have changed. Maybe we turned a 4 into a 5 or something of that nature. At the same time, if you want to give us a family member's email address, you can feel free to do that as well. Also, as there's a few more updates that will be happening, so look in that memo for that. One is our guest visitor policy. Our visitor policy, being where we're at from a COVID-19 standpoint, which again, we do not have any current cases of COVID-19. We have a couple residents that have colds or respiratory things. We've gone through and done the rapid tests and things of that nature. All the residents are 100% vaccinated. We now have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on site so that we can give it to staff if they want it. It's a 1 dose, 1 shot. We're opening up that to residents that don't have it, but I'll tell you, all of you do, as well as employees, as well as employee family members. So again, just another offering. Secondarily to that, we are increasing the capacity for visitors, meaning any visitor under or over the age of infant and above can come to East Castle Place. Anybody over the age of 6 must wear a mask. Anybody under, I get it. I have a 9-month-old, they don't like masks. So again, anybody over the age of 6, we ask they wear a mask. You still go through your check-in procedures. The number of guests that you have is now capped at 10 to 15. So you can't have more than 10 to 15 guests at one time. Well, you might say, well, I have a 1-bedroom apartment. How do I ever get 15 people in my apartment? That's where you can reserve the club room and the Bradford Terrace Lounge. Okay? So moving forward, as of July 15th, and you'll see that in the memo, because again, July 15th is kind of a date we put forward also for when guest rooms are going to be available to residents as well. That will include the expansion of that. I know some of you have book clubs, bridge groups, different things like that, and so I want to invite that back. Obviously, we'll still ask for visitors to wear masks as well as check in, but at the end of the day, I would love for you to be able to invite your friends and families back in on a larger scale. So again, starting July 15th for that. You don't have to let if you have a group size of 10 or more and you reserve that space, do let Lila or Famada know, just so we can be prepared.
Is there any projection as to when we can have guests in the dining room?
So much like how we've done it in the past, August 15th, I talked to Carlos this morning, is what we're going to target for guests to come back into the dining room. We're going to cap that right now, as I'm sitting here telling you, August 15th, to 2 guests a night. No more than 2 guests per night or for brunch, and we'll see how that goes. So that's where we're at right now. I want to see how the expanded visitor policy goes first, and then we'll go into August 15th with the visitors coming to the dining room and guests, and so we'll have formal communication on that. We'll talk to the Resident Food and Beverage Committee on Tuesday on their thoughts, but August 15th is the target date Carlos and I set.
Great.
So
they still have to check in at that computer.
Yep, at AccuShield, yep. And I do still ask that they wear masks. Obviously, if you're in your own private homes and they're vaccinated and you're comfortable, if you're in your smaller group settings that are away from the rest of the resident population, again, I'm not going to principal or monitor you. I trust you all to make the right decisions. So again, that's something that we'll continue to open. That will essentially get us back to normal, the new normal, so to speak. So again, that's great. COVID from a Milwaukee standpoint, from an East Castle Place standpoint, has been very, very sound. Vaccination rates, we continue to creep up a little bit from the employee front. Employees, I don't have direction on when their masks will be removed. I am still hesitant just because I know all my employees are not vaccinated. I know I am, but at the same time, I also know that I don't want to say, are you vaccinated? Are you vaccinated? Why are you wearing a mask? Why are you not wearing a mask? I'm just not comfortable and don't have a good enough policy to kind of keep everybody held accountable, as well as to the best of our ability. As well as in the healthcare areas, the Department of Health did give guidance that is much stricter, meaning that eyewear and masks have to be worn while in the resident room, even though we have nobody with COVID. So that's interesting, and so we're trying to weave through that. Leading Age Wisconsin is weaving through that as well. So again, but from a COVID-19 standpoint, we're in a very, very good position.
If an out-of-state guest is staying in our apartment, are they eligible to get a parking space in the underground garage?
So Doris brings up a great question, and I believe a memo was issued. So the question was, can a guest be allowed to park underground when they're visiting? We opened up 2 guest spaces in the underground garage. They are supposed to be attached to a guest suite, and then it is rented for $10 a day, and they can park underground while they stay here at East Castle Place.
But if that person opts to stay in your apartment, for instance, my son and daughter
Mhm.
are coming at the end of August, and would he be able to park, if it's available, naturally, the person who rents a room here would have first priority?
Right. If it's available, yes. If it's available, you can check with the front desk and you can definitely sign up. The only addition to that $10 a day is there is a $100 security deposit that not necessarily a credit card will be given or anything like that, but if your guest does not return that remote, $100 will be charged to your account, and that will be to replace the remote.
Mhm.
It's also hopefully a reminder to your guests as well as to you to say, get that remote back to the front desk, or then you have to deal with your guests, your son, daughter, to say, give me $100 because you failed to give me the remote. So yes, guest spots are available there. It is limited to 2. We have those available at the front desk. So yeah. What else? Anything? Good. No?
Could guests use the side lot?
Yes, guests can still use the side lot. Absolutely, no charge. She just asked if guests can still park on the side lot overnight if they want, and yes, there's no charge for that.
Oh,
Did we already ask, when the gates are gonna go up?
So the question was when, and a few of you have heard this because I've shared, we are in the process of getting a bid for our a gate to go on our front parking lot and our back to enhance our security. As I'm sure you've all heard, I mentioned it at, I believe, at State of the Castle, as well as a few other areas that we unfortunately had some break-ins occur in our parking lot. From employee as well as some resident cars. I don't know if you saw it on the news. I think there was even a story last night or before. Car theft and car break-ins are up over 300% in Shorewood, as well as up over close to 200% on the east side of Milwaukee. Unfortunately, we have the best camera system. Unfortunately, that's a very reactive system, right? We can give the police the footage, and the last time I gave the police footage, they said thank you. I believe we've caught the suspects, but unfortunately, they are held in juvenile detention for about 4 to 5 days and released.
Oh.
So they're having a tough time prosecuting. Secondarily, it's a game, it seems, because the individuals are sometimes breaking in, trying to find something and leaving right away. Sometimes if a car is stolen, they leave it 2 hours later in a different location. I just don't quite get it. So what I told the employees and what I'll tell you is make sure your doors are locked anywhere you go. I lock my doors even though I'm parked underground. We've never had a break-in underground, but it's habit for me, and it's just something I feel very strongly about. secondarily, if you're leaving your car overnight outside of our parking lot, be aware of your surroundings. Again, and thirdly, if you go to District 1 and you drive a Kia or a Hyundai, you can actually get a club. Remember that old school club that you put on the steering wheel? That's a deterrent. These individuals are looking for the easiest target. They spend no more than 3 to 5 minutes in the parking lot. Within 3 to 5 minutes, if they've accomplished what they want to, they're gone, or they go somewhere else. So again, making it as difficult as possible, as well as putting in safeguards. What we're doing from East Castle Place is trying to get a gate. Again, there's lead times and things of that nature. My goal and hope is to have it by September, because again, it's at least 8 weeks out. And again, we're still working through that, so much more information will happen. Eric and I did meet with somebody from a gate company that's providing us a bid. The board of directors has already approved the cost to continue to safeguard our community. I will share with you, security is one thing that I do not take lightly. I know that's why you and your loved ones live here. The positive that I can share with you, these individuals are not looking to be confrontational, and any alarm, any source of misstep, so to speak, they're running. I've seen it on camera. So again, that's where I do want you to feel safe and secure. Again, many of these individuals I've seen are not looking for confrontation, they're looking for easy get, so to speak. So whatever we can do to deter them, that's on.
How would the gates work in terms of opening and closing?
So that's where it would be tied to our front desk, most likely, and may just be that the gate goes from 7 p.m. to 6
I
a.m.
see, yeah.
And then shut overnight.
Yeah.
Where would that gate be?
It would be on this lobby, or I'm sorry, on this lobby. On this driveway off of Bradford, it would not be on the circle drive. We will not put one there, just on our main parking lot. And then there would be an arm back here that would go up and down. So again, the individuals are again usually coming in stolen vehicles to parking lots, and then trying to get more. So that's where a gate would be a deterrent, obviously. So
That's so annoying.
it's unfortunate, because again, we have so many jobs out there that they could be doing, as opposed to trying to be, bored or something.
And
I don't know.
overnight, there is a watch.
Yep, we have security overnight. The question was raised, what about security? We have cameras 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We do have security overnight. I will tell you, security does not have pepper spray or anything like that. They do have a flashlight. They do flash it out there. They do walk the parking lots and walk the outside, and pick up trash and things of that nature. But even if they saw something, they're told not to approach. They're told to call, of course, and they have a cell phone. But again, we've been good, and I don't even want to say it, but we've been good as of late. So, but yes, we have security overnight.
Maybe we should have a pre-recorded, high-pitched mother's voice that just goes off.
There you go. That's a thought.
We just a while ago, before you were here, the patrol car was out there.
Yes, that's the other thing. We've worked with Milwaukee Police Department. They are patrolling our parking lot once or twice a day at least. We've asked them to do that. I've also asked them if they want to do paperwork, feel free to sit in our parking lot and do that. And I also said, if you need a hot cup of coffee, a cold bottle of water, the clean bathroom, use East Castle Place. Again, I appreciate what our officers do for our community. And again, I think we're a great community to stop in at, because they always know it's a clean bathroom to go into, and they can also always grab a cup of coffee from the bistro, a cold bottle of water. I've even said, if you need a quick bite to eat, let us know. We'll happy to provide you a quick lunch.
Nice.
Again, they do so much for us outside of these walls, and so it's the little things that they do for us. And again, they always have appreciated that. So,
Good.
but you will see a greater police presence, and that is at the request of myself. So hopefully that's deterred as well.
Good for you.
Good job.
Anything else? All right.
Judy? Any
Oh,
questions?
I don't have anything. I came to learn.
So, well, I have an interview at 11 o'clock with
Okay.
Phoenix, ABC Phoenix,
Oh.
to talk about our wager. There's
Sure.
a clip that aired last night on their Fox station. Spectrum One is coming in on Tuesday to do one here for
Right,
East
great.
Castle. So,
Good for you.
Go brush your teeth.
so yeah, go brush my teeth, get the Bucks jersey. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.